Now this is a podcast all about Bears. You either cheering for this team or just pulling your hair. I like to take a minute, just sit right back and tell you how I became the #1 Bears fan.
That boy is Benny Hunter.
Cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic, cake on the mic. People, this the intro. Sacramento, California, born and raised. And Antelope is where I spend most of my days. Talk bad about my team, you must be a clown. This is Keek on the mic, so you know you better bear down. Bear down.
Hey, what's going on, Bears fans? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Keek on the Mic, the podcast all about the Chicago Bears. Like always, if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. As you guys can see, once again, I am not at my home studio today because I really wanted to come on here on this podcast and kind of clear things out a little bit, clear the air for a lot of Bears fans, because a lot of things have happened from the time the football game ended against the Green Bay Packers to now. Obviously, I don't want to go back in time, but obviously the Chicago Bears lost once again to Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. And obviously, when you lose to the Green Bay Packers, a lot of emotions come up, not only from the players, but from a lot of the Bears fans as well. I know, we take it personal. It's a rivalry. We understand. We haven't beaten Aaron Rodgers in 7 straight games. So yes, it hurts to lose to the Green Bay Packers. But the big thing going around right now is that Justin Fields called out Bears fans. Obviously, Justin Fields, in his post-game press conference after the loss to the Green Bay Packers, he was asked the question, basically, does this loss hurt? Basically in so many words, does this loss hurt to the Green Bay Packers because the fans care so much about this rivalry? And this is how Justin Fields responded. It hurts more in the locker room than for Bears fans. I mean, at the end of the day, they're not putting in any work. So obviously, there's a lot of Bears fans basically bashing Justin Fields, right? Bashing Justin Fields for this comment, saying, well, no, we care about this game too, blah, 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 blah. Just straight up bashing Justin Fields for that comment. But I'm actually on Justin Fields' side here. He's right. And this is coming from a Bears fan. Justin Fields is absolutely right. We don't play the game. We don't put in the work. All we do is give our opinion is if our team plays good or bad. That's all we're here for, is to support the Chicago Bears through the good times and through the bad times. We're not the ones putting on the helmet. We're not the ones trying to learn a new offense. We're not the ones playing with basically no receivers on the field, or an offensive line trying to work the kinks out, or a whole entirety of an offense trying to work the kinks out, right? So I agree with Justin Fields here. And, obviously after losing to the Green Bay Packers, obviously they had a little bit more expectations going into that game. But unfortunately, the Green Bay Packers executed their game plan and the Chicago Bears did not. So obviously, like I said, when you lose to the Green Bay Packers, obviously the emotion is high. But I am actually on Justin Fields' side. He's absolutely right. It hurts more in the locker room than for Bears fans. It's the truth. They put in all the work all week long, and to go in there and not execute, it's frustrating. So I understand where Justin Fields is coming from. So as a Bears fan, my message to all the other Bears fans is take a step back and relax a little bit. Because obviously I've been reading a lot of the comments and a lot of the hate going towards Justin Fields in this offense. And yes, they struggled. Yes, they started out really well on a beautiful drive. Yes, they went away from David Montgomery. We understand that. Yes, the offense struggled. Yes, the defense struggled. But we do know that this team is building, right? We don't have any high expectations for the Chicago Bears this year. Of course we want to see them win. Of course we want to see them beat the Green Bay Packers. But it didn't happen. It didn't happen. The Chicago Bears didn't execute. That doesn't mean turn on your team or bash Justin Fields or bash your team, right? We're building. And we will get there with time. And I know a lot of people are panicking. And obviously, Matt Eberflus came out after the game and says, you know what? It is a huge concern that the passing game's not working right now. Because that's one of the big things I've heard all week long about how the passing game's not working. Darnell Mooney's not getting involved. Cole Kmet's not getting involved. Luke Getsy's a terrible OC. This is a work in progress. We all understood that this was going to be a work in progress. We didn't think it was going to click right away. Yes, we saw some flashes in the preseason, but that's preseason. You have to take preseason with a grain of salt. So obviously we knew that going into the regular season, there could be some growing pains for this offense. And I said that firsthand right here on the podcast, that there could be some growing pains, not only on the offense side of the ball and the defense side of the ball. This is a very young Chicago Bears team that is building towards the future. Well, let me tell you this. if Justin Fields and offense and defense struggles all year long, yeah, that could be concerning, right? Of course, you don't want to see your team suck all year long, right? Of course, you want to see the continuous development of your young players. Yes, I can agree on that point. But after 2 games, we have to relax as Bears fans. We have to try to enjoy this process because at the end of the day, there's no expectations for the Chicago Bears football team. And yes, I know a lot of people are judging Luke Getsy, right? Justin Fields has only had 28 pass attempts. And that's not going to get the job done at all. We all understand that. But it's going to be a work in progress. And what I am looking for as a Bears fan is the slowly progressing development of this entirety of the football team. We understand that we had no expectations going into this year, but the expectations will heighten going into next year, going into the year after that, because that's where the money comes in. That's where Ryan Poles has set the Chicago Bears up for success, is for years to come by getting our draft picks back, right? Actually having a first round pick to make this team better, having cap space to make this Bears team better, right? For years to come. And yes, I know it gets frustrating. The offense looked terrible, right? They had a couple of good moments on the ground. They had a really good first drive, but then they went silent. The defense missed tackles, right? It was frustrating. It was a frustrating loss to the Green Bay Packers. But there's no reason why we should be turning on our team, right? And an example I want to use on today's podcast is look at the Philadelphia Eagles. Look at Jalen Hurts. It took him 3 years, right? It took the Eagles 3 years to build around Jalen Hurts. And now look at them. They look like a pretty damn good football team because they took their time, right? They built around their quarterback and they played to the quarterback's strengths. And I know a lot of you guys will comment and say, well, Keek, they're not even playing to Justin Fields' strengths, which, okay, it's a new offense. So we don't know. We can't judge off of 28 pass attempts. We can't judge them playing in a monsoon. Yes, the weather was clear against Green Bay, but we can't judge off of 28 pass attempts. And I'll be the first one to say that, yeah, I am going to be critical. I do think that we need to get Darnell Mooney going. 2 catches for 4 yards in 2 games for our supposedly be our number 1 wide receiver on the football team. It sucks. Cole Kmet, when we throw him the ball, he has to be able to catch. We got to get those guys involved. Those 2 guys are really important. If we don't get those 2 guys involved, the offense will continue to struggle, and that's just the truth. But I just wanted to come on here and say, relax, Bears fans. It's a process. We all knew that the offense was going to go through growing pains. The good news here for the Chicago Bears is that after 2 weeks against 2 very good opponents in the 49ers and the Green Bay Packers, we're 1-1. So that's good news, right? We could easily be 0-2 going into a hungry Texans team and a New York Giants team that looks pretty good this year, playing hard for their football coach. It could be worse. But we all knew that all we wanted to see this year is steady developments. But I wouldn't panic after 2 games about Justin Fields. Once again, if Justin Fields at the end of the year still looks like that and he's not making any development, yeah, then we can come back here on the podcast and have a conversation about that. But don't attack Justin Fields. Don't attack Luke Getsy, right? And don't attack the entirety of the Chicago Bears football team. It's okay to be critical, but before you are critical about your team, relax, take a deep breath, and just be logical as well. We all knew that this was going to be a year where, you know what, we don't have expectations for our football team. We don't expect to win the Super Bowl. Well, shoot, we don't even expect to go to the playoffs. All we want to see is our young football team develop with a lot of young players on this team. And as long as that's happening, I am happy as a Bears fan. But we can't judge this football team after 2 games because it's still a learning process for not only Justin Fields, but all the young guys on this Chicago Bears football team. So Bears fans, take a deep breath. It's going to be okay. And just let the process play out. Okay, I just wanted to come on here and get that off my chest because I saw all the comments on social media. A lot of Bears fans already kind of giving up on their football team after 1 loss. Yes, I understand the emotions are there when you lose to the Green Bay Packers so many times. I understand. I was frustrated too. But this is a work in progress. We will eventually get there. Okay, so just try to relax. Try to remain faithful to the Chicago Bears organization. And please try to remain faithful to Justin Fields because he will get there. I have a lot of confidence in Justin Fields. And you guys should too. Before I let you guys go, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the bell notification to catch all Bears content right here on the podcast. Make sure you follow me on all my social media platforms, and make sure you share this episode of Geek on the Mic with every single Bears fan that you know. But other than that, I'll be back for an all new Bears podcast right here on Geek on the Mic. Thanks, guys, and bear down.
You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic. You can go and subscribe, cause I be on it right. You ain't bout it, you ain't bout it, you ain't Geek on the Mic.